honoring our mother and father. I'm talking about by name and principle.
That's right, Mom.
See, the wealth of all national governments belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principle, you have no true wealth.
Nothing.
That's right, Mom.
I'm talking about being in accord with the Constitution.
That's right.
See, in order to be recognized as a citizen in any government, you must claim a national descent name of your forefather. You see? So those were just some of the things that they kept back from us and our people. Because for a long time, we were under the misillusion that it had something to do with the shade of our skin.
That's right.
No, it didn't have nothing to do with the shade of our skin. It had something to do with the content of our character and us being miseducated. So now that we're receiving proper education, now we can do good things. We can dare and do wondrous things. And we can teach our youth to do the same. You know, don't do as I do, do even greater.
Yes.
And see, that's what we teach here in the Moorish Temple of America under the divine instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, just the great divine and national movement
We show 'em.
that he left here, we show.
That's right, Mom.
See, we got to take this time out for ourselves. We got to take the time out because truly to affect this great mission and this great purpose, Mom, it's going to have to take. We got to go against the norm. See, we got to say we're not doing business as usual anymore. You know, Sheikh Lynch Bay.
Yes.
See, we got to move past that.
Yes, sir.
And to move past that, we got to reinvent
Yes, sir.
certain things.
That's right, Mom.
Things that has been shunned. You know, we got to go back and reiterate the sayings of the Prophet Noble Drew
Yes,
Ali.
that's right, Mom.
Because we want to remain conscious. See, we won't want to be rocked back to sleep. Because if we allow ourselves to be rocked back to sleep, then we'll try to conform to the status quo all over again. And we don't really want to do that.
Nah, Mom.
You know, here in Portland, you know, it's a great opportunity to come up here and share with you the things that the Moors are doing good here in Portland at Temple Number 2 under the direction of the Grand Governor and Sheikh, Grand Sheikh of the Temple, Lynch Bay. And the Moor called on us and I gave him the word, my word. I said, Moor, I'll be here sometime in February. I didn't say when, but I wanted to come up here and assist him in the growth and development of the community in Portland.
That's right, Mom.
Amongst our race, amongst its citizenry, truly, even the disunity that exists amongst just the Moors that's up here. You know, Moors, we want to even unify that. Because if we can't unify, how can we expect to work with each other? See, the only way, we got to learn to love. See, then we got to build relationships. Then you got to foster these relationships.
That's right, Mom.
We can't be under the influence of any evil motive. You know, because we want to obtain something great here in this community. Because the Moorish Temple of America is no doubt going to be a positive force in the lives of the citizens of Portland. And I just like to say that come out when you have the opportunity, because education is the medium through which the people are prepared.
That's right.
Now, I became conscious of that message through a great brother who happened to be the forerunner of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and that's the Honorable Marcus Mosaic Garvey.
That's right, Mom.
You know, who, when he came over here and visited America, and he saw the condition of our people, the question that he asked, where's our army and our navy and our men of big affairs? When he didn't see none of those things, he had declared that he was going to help make them.
That's right.
So you see, we always have people that's on the scene that's willing and ready to aid in the great program of uplifting,
Beautiful.
taking our place in the affairs of men. And that's what we need here. That's what we need at this time. We need to remove those things that has caused decadence in our communities. And one of them more is the disunity that
Yes.
exists amongst the people. But first, we got to, in order to get them to unify, we got to teach that one of that great lesson that the Prophet Noah Drew Ali taught. And that's learning to love instead of hate. See, many of us think we know how to love instead of hate. But if you do, where you learn it from?
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn it effectively at home?
That's important, Mo. That's right.
That's important. Did you learn it in school? Did you learn it at work?
Mm.
Did you learn it in one of these great universities out here in the world?
Teach, bro.
You know, because I've been to school for many years. I've been into some of the universities. And I didn't see no curriculum that instructed one how to learn to love instead of hate. But I found a curriculum here in the Moorish Divine and National Movement in North America, brought by Prophet Noah Drew Ali. Because the Prophet Noah Drew Ali, in his teachings, he has many lessons that revolve around unity and how to unify. See, first we got to have a unity of thought, because sometimes our thoughts can be so conflicting to ourselves and confounded to ourselves, sometimes we don't even know which way we're going. You know, and as a consequence, that influence can cause you to sway. See, we don't want to be swayed right now. We want to be upright, independent, and fearless.
That's right, brother.
See, when you taking on aims and objectives as that which the prophet brought and put on us, see, because the prophet said there was a work enough for all to do in the building a better world. See, that ain't just the job of a few. It's the job of all of us to take our place.
That's right, Mo.
But how do we take our place? More simple, by starting with self first. Start raising our families. You know, start teaching those things that will help solidify and build unity. Unity within oneself. So we can become comfortable with the people that we work with every day in the community. So we can keep this progress going. So we can keep this love going.
Yes.
You know, and I just like to thank everyone for all of those who, in this hour, that's going to help us with this goal of unifying the Moorish movement.
Praise God.
I would welcome any questions. You know, anything that I could share with the public here in Portland, with the Moors here in Portland, and with the other communities that aids and assists in the development and growth of the people overall.
Yes.
See, we're willing to work with everyone and to give them the necessary know-how, share with them that which has been shared with us, because we want to see everyone become better citizens. You know, we want to see everyone be able to come together and unify for a cause, a great cause. And we're talking about a great cause today.
Yes.
Because once we can get everyone to unify, then we can begin to break ground on a lot of projects.
That's right. That's right, Mo.
Because we want to address the needs and issue of the everyday common people. Just like I said earlier, they're social and economic, but
That's
in a
right.
profound sense, they're moral and spiritual. You know, because look at the world. Look at the things that are taking place in the world. I'm talking about I'm speaking on a world level right now. Because unity is going to be obtained by the positive standard and principles that Noah Drew Ali have laid. You know, let's forget the things of the past.
That's
Those
right.
things that have
Separate.
caused us to separate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop arguing over who's the rightful this, who's the rightful that.
Talk about it more.
Because we're arguing over things and making fuss over things
Who wasn't even there?
that took place 70 and 80 years ago.
Wasn't even there.
We're letting them keep us from unifying today.
Right.
But remember, if you are truly a Moorish American and you're following the Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Listen.
then you should know.
That's right.
Man knows naught by being told. In other words, more, let the divine instructions be your
That's
guide.
it. That's it.
Leaders gonna come and go. Some good and even some bad. But what we want to hold on more is the foundation that the prophet laid. See, the subsequent leaders that was around during the time of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the ones that are here today, well, we're operating strictly off of this. The law, the divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Temple of America.
Teach 'em all.
You know, and some of us haven't learned them well enough to be able to teach them. Meaning that once you learn it, see, you become the divine constitution
That's
and
it.
bylaws.
That's it.
That's right, Mo.
You become the divine instructions that's in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. You will be more efficient. Because
That's right, Mo.
these teachings were meant to save and create a life unlike which we see anywhere on earth. See, I don't want to die and go to heaven. See, I want to be able to see, because heaven is a state of mind.
That's right.
See, I want to create a heaven or help create a heaven here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
But how can we do that if everyone is under a misunderstanding?
Mm-hmm.
Teach, Mo.
We're simply, we got to start teaching hard, Sheikh Lynchbang. We got to teach more, Sheikh Light Air. And we got to be patient with our people in teaching them. Because don't forget, more, they've been holding on to the slave mentality for so long. It's going to be hard, but we can free them.
That's right, Mo.
Because it's a lesson that a great master taught over 2,000 years ago. A lot of us know him by the name of Jesus.
Talk about it, Mo. Talk about it.
And he said that the only thing that's going to set you free is truth. Because truth is the only thing that changes not. See, falsehood is that which seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
See, and once we know that, it ain't but two things in the world. One is truth and the other is falsehood. Then we won't be so easily misled
That's right.
down the road or path of destruction. See, we want to become economically sound.
Mm.
We want to become morally correct because we have adopted a lot of the carnal customs
Mm-hmm.
of the world. And a lot of those carnal customs have never done us any good but always caused us harm.
That's right, Mo.
So, and to achieve, see in that profound sense, that moral and spiritual problem that humanity has. See, because of how we view and look at each other.
Mm-hmm.
See, we got to know that we're all the children of God first. We got to know this. You know, and just as Allah or the great God forgives us for our transgressions, I dare you not to be able to forgive anyone else for theirs
Better learn.
against you. See, those are
Right.
things that we got to learn.
Better learn.
See, we got to learn that so we can be able to rise above the meanness
it.
of dissimulation.
That's it, Mo. Teach.
Because we want to be effective in this day and time. And the only way you're going to be effective is you got the divine instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali on board. You know, you want to be able to connect the dots. You got to be able to connect and cross your T's and dot your I's. But see, we want to be corrected about it because more, the great meeting is on.
Always.
The great meeting is on. Make no mistake about it. We're going to unify this Moorish movement. We're going to, if we have to, those negative forces that's within here, they're going to be rooted out with the spiritual force of right. You know, and more, we're going to make this happen.
It's a new era time.
You know, because this is a new era of time now. The people are crying in the streets for
Yes, sir.
salvation.
Yes.
And we're going to, with the best of our ability, we're going to give them the best that is within us, and we're going to look for the best that's within them.
Islam.
See, Mocha, this is how we're going to foster this unity I'm talking about. Here in this Moorish Science Temple of America, even up here in Portland, great things and great works are being done.
Yes, truly.
Great works are being done. And I just want those that want to have a part or take a part out in this great work, come around and see this great brother right here, C. Lynch Bay.
Great.
You know, he's the more been doing some great work up here. Islam. And I'd just like to thank him for inviting us up here to Portland. And more, we look forward to working with you. We're going to take the word back home.
Yes.
We're going to let them know that we need some help up here in Portland.
Yes, yes.
For those that's able to make it. And we're going to need some help in Chicago. And I'd like to also, in my conclusion, I'd like to welcome all the grand bodies out there in the Moorish Science Temple of America, all the sheiks, all the officials, all the head officials. Come on, Mo, let's renew our acts and let's amend our ways. The great conference is on its way, and in it is where the law will be enforced upon all and all alike. So as I came to you in love, I want to leave you in peace. I'd like to thank the Portland community media for having us in. I'd like to thank Sheikh James Lynch Bay for setting this up, and I leave you all in peace. Peace and love. Thank you, Portland.
Islam. You know, when Jesus was with his disciples at the Last Supper, more times than not, we think that they had some physical food.
Right.
But when Jesus was talking to his disciples, he was giving them food for thought.
That's it.
And that's what these two brothers just done from Washington, D.C. They came here and gave us some food for thought about the unification of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, we didn't get the chance to hear the Grand Mufti because he got 1,000 businesses. And we talking about a business a format that he's just putting together now for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Matter of fact, the nation has one like that too. And talking about everybody gets put $1, quarter in a week. And when you look in a year, we got hundreds of thousands of dollars. And more, yours is even greater than that, Mo.
Islam.
So it's always an honor, you know, for us to be able to come before Portland listening audience to talk about the Moorish Science Temple, because you're going to be hearing a lot of us, a lot about the Moorish Science Temple, because it's important that you do. Because when Noble Drew Ali came, he didn't come to North Carolina. He didn't come to Chicago. He also came to Portland, Oregon. And he really had to come here to Portland, Oregon, because we was needed mostly here. So it's always an honor. I want to thank you, Mo. You set my soul on fire with love and holy zeal. And keep up the good work, Mo.
Thank you.
Because sometimes people come to the temple, ain't nobody there. One thing they say, it's hard to find a Mo. Where's a good Mo?